What we think, we become. Whatever you think yourself as, that will be your own reality and your own self-image on your own life. So your perspective has to be based on your own alignment on who you truly want to become, because your own thoughts are the one who compound their own self. Whatever you think about yourself, whatever you feel about yourself, the way your emotions, the way your reactions towards situations based on you, on your life, it's basically just a reflection on how you see yourself, right? So every thought, every thinking thought that you have at the current moment, it's just a present tense on how you feel about yourself and the way that you reflect on your life, right? So let's say, for example, you want to become an ideal person, right? And this is typically your higher self. But at the end of the day, you're still thinking like you're not worthy of yourself. You're still thinking that you don't deserve anything. You're really insecure. You don't have no confidence. Basically, the gap between this is a big gap, right? Because if you were to think about it, your higher self has the most confidence. It's the best person you can be. It's the most happiest. But if you're still in this level and you can really appreciate on who you are at the present moment, that's when you can accept the fact that you don't want to change, and that's what stops everything, right? So you decide what you want to think. Once you decide what you want to think, it's basically the concept of what you're going to be thinking, right? So when you're aware that every thought that you have every second, every day, every morning, every night, or any other time, it's basically because that's what you're thinking and that's what you're being programmed to think, right? If you've been thinking to yourself that, you don't deserve to be rich, you don't deserve to get a wealth, you don't deserve to start a business or anything or so, it's because you haven't thought any furthermore. You haven't thought to yourself to think that you can do that, right? So you need to put yourself in a perspective and just imagine yourself being in that situations, right? Imagine yourself starting a business. Imagine yourself getting all this money, getting all this wealth. Because if you don't imagine yourself doing it, you can never believe it, right? So you need to relax and visualize. That's what it all comes down. It starts from the visualization. It starts from a starting point, right? The starting point is just the scenery. The scenery is when it comes into perspective. And once you put yourself in that situation and you truly imagine and you truly feel and just sort of react to the imaginary situation, you come to a realization that everything that you think about just comes based from what you think. So why not think about you becoming a millionaire? Why not think about you becoming a wealthy person, right? And it's not just becoming a wealthy person. It's not just becoming a rich person. It could be in anything. It could be in any concept. But what I'm trying to say is that you can decide what you want to think. If you don't decide that in a certain way where any thoughts, any thinking forms will come in a way in your mind to help you become that person better, then you're not really using the power of your mind, which I will get to that later, right? So you have to see yourself as the person you want to be seen as. So a wealthy person, let's say for example you are a wealthy person, right? How would you dress like? Let's say you're a wealthy person as well. What would you react to how you feel about money, right? Would you say you will see yourself as broke? Would you see yourself as, would you dress yourself as someone that's not rich or someone that's not wealthy? What I mean by changing your self-concept is that becoming that self-concept as well, right? Using the visualization will help you on that, because now you're just thinking of different ideas, different ways how you can evaluate that way, and you can attract more things, right? Because it is about the self-image as well. It's not just about the thoughts, but it's about the self-image. Because if there's no self-image in the real world, there's nothing to show. You're just thinking about it. You have the mindset of a millionaire, but you don't have the personality as a millionaire, right? So you have to be acting on basis on both sides. It has to be everything in all identity. Your own self-identity from right now has to come to a shift to your millionaire identity, right? And it's pretty simple. At the end of the day, it just takes practice, because you do not born having a millionaire mindset, right? You train yourself. You train your mind to be accustomed by manipulating it and be delusional about you being a millionaire. So, describing the image in the present time, right? You need to describe the image in the present time. Right now, what can I do to be seen like a wealthy person? Right now, how can I talk to seem like a wealthy person? right now, how can my thoughts help me becoming this wealthy person, right? At the end of the day, you're a wealthy person. Everybody here is a wealthy person, right? It's just a certain emotion, it's just certain frequencies, it's just certain energies that they go balance off, and that's why people seem differently from other people. Because you can tell from the various of people, if there is one millionaire in the room, you will automatically know who he is, right? Unless he want to describe himself as that image, because if he doesn't describe himself as that image, he wouldn't be that millionaire, right? So we always manifest. You have to know that we always manifest. Every thought that we have comes to in realistic, right? Let's say, for example, I want to go to the gym. If I'm thinking about going to the gym, I will go to the gym, because I'm literally manifesting myself going to the gym, right? If I want to eat, right now my mind is thinking about eating. So I'm gonna eat no matter what, right? It's gonna be happening because I eat every day. So having that same similarity into your own desires is gonna help you attract much more things easily and in a much more flowing state. Because think about it like this: when we manifestation, it's not something that you want to manifest as something big, as something small, something that you want to manifest that you don't have. Because at the end of the day, you do have it. It's just certain ways that you manifest it, right? If you don't manifest it in the right way, if you don't manifest it in the clear way, you're never gonna get anything. And when I mean by manifesting things, that you need to have that, you need to release all that tension, you need to release all your problems, you need to release all the stress, all the unnecessary emotions in order for you to manifest the real thing, right? So the power of the mind. The power of the mind, what I was going back regarding to see yourself as a person you want to be seen as. Using the power of the mind is basically now manipulating and being delusional. Being delusional doesn't mean that you have to be actually deluded, but being delusional by the way you see yourself. But by standing on the way you see yourself and not letting other people, other certain situations, or just certain circumstances change you, you are a perfect illustration from what I'm talking about. So whenever you use the power of the mind, now manipulating your mind, having that self-concept now, and just overlapping your thoughts into the person that you want to be, it's automatically always going to put you in that self-image. And now people are going to start realizing that, oh my god, you changed. The way you talk is you're different. The way you think is different. No, all that it is that you change your personality into your best self, and that's when you start seeing results. The power of the mind, you have to take advantage of it, because the power of the mind has dopamine. Dopamine are things that help the mind get addicted to things, right? It's like you loving sugar. It's like people loving to eat chips. It's like people loving to go to the workout. It's like people playing video games, right? That is dopamine. Dopamine gets that attraction into the brain. It isn't like it activates every time you see it. It activates, right? So when you have dopamine on your own manifestation, when you have dopamine into your own desires, that's when you start getting diluted, and now you start converting the bad dopamine into now the good dopamine, right? A lot of people have good dopamine for smoking weed because it activates that certain brain cell that makes you want to carve it every day. It craves it every day, because they do it at a certain time, they do it in a certain way, and they do it in a certain situation where they always feel. That's why it feels like a loophole, because that dopamine is always gonna fill them up with that substance. So if you change that and replace that now into a substance where you can become free of your own desires, you can become love, you can connect with them, and everything will just manifest in the right way, right? So you write your own book. You write your own book, right? And what I mean is that you have to write your own book. You can just visualize and just act like you're the wealthy person. You have to write it, and you have to come to a sense and a better understanding every day. Every day you have to at least write a paper why you want those desires. What does it mean to you? What would it be to change? Why would it cause an effect on your certain situations? Writing your own book will put it into now a better perspective. And if you have any miscalculated desires, if you want to know something that's out of the ego, you will come to a realization, and instead of you manifesting stuff that you don't want in the long run or the long term, that's when you start coming to self-awareness, right? At the end of the day, you probably want this, this business, but this business is based on just selling drugs, right? Selling drugs. You want to get like just unnecessary stuff, right? Unnecessary stuff. Yeah, I know what I mean, right? So now, before you want to do something, you have to be something, right? So instead of you trying to become a wealthy person, you have to become a wealthy person, right? A lot of people are trying to chase this entrepreneurship method. They're trying to chase these new things like drop shipping. They're trying to do affiliate marketing, real estate investors. Like it just depends on what things they want to do, right? But they haven't thought of themselves to be a wealthy person. They just want to do what the other person does because they see success in it, and they probably see he's in the same age as them, right? But that's not how it works. How it works is by you simplifying on who you are and actually doing what you truly love and seeing yourself as a wealthy person. Okay, how can I turn my talents now into the real world and serving my humanity, right? A lot of people just want to copy. They see and want to just copy. That's how most people think, and it's okay because most people, they want it easy. And things are not easy as that. They need to actually pay attention and actually train their mind to have all these inherents into the mindset, right? So it all starts with the habits. The habits of you being a wealthy person. What will you do? How will you wake up? What time would you sleep? What will you eat, right? All those things are a good matter if you truly want to change your life, right? So now, personality. You have to change your personality into the higher self. It could be your business self. It could be your musician self. It could be your content creator self. Your personality has to be based on that, right? And your emotions. Your emotions has to be in a frequency. How will you feel if all your desires already succeeded? How will you feel if everything was coming in your way? And the reactions. How you react to certain situations. The way you react to situations right now in the present, but if you were your higher self, how will your higher self react to the situations you had right now? Really think about it deeply, right? So your thoughts. Every day, your self-image has to be in the present time. So your thoughts have to be in the present moment. I'm a millionaire. I'm a wealthy person. I don't care if I spend $100 for food. I don't care if I spend $40 for anything. I don't care if I invest in myself $100 for just clothes to make me look wealthy. All those things are a good matter because now you're switching your mindset instead of you worrying about money. When millionaires don't never worry about money, right? So focus. You have to focus. Every day you have to focus 100%. Energy. Same thing about emotions. Your energy has to be up there no matter what. And your energy has to be based on your higher self. Health. Health is the most important component. I've never seen a fat guy being a millionaire. I've never seen a fat guy being a millionaire. So if you're fat, you need to start working out. So finance. Your finance. Your perspective of finance. What is your perspective about money? How do you see money? How do you receive money? How can you become a wealthy person? All those things come into pertinent sense. And most of the finance perspectives can change by basically reading books, right? And now, the new you. So right now at the present moment, write down in your notebook, write down things that you want to change your life. Realistically, seek your weaknesses, seek your strengths, and seek the higher self that you want to be, and start acting based on right now. There's no such thing as acting as tomorrow, next month, next year. No, it all starts right now, because if nothing changes, right? So yeah, well, what we think, we become. And if you don't think, you don't become. But if you start thinking, it becomes a thought, and a thought creates an idea creates a purpose, and the purpose creates a reason. So that's exactly what you gotta start thinking on who you want to become. But yeah, man, it's been Fredo Saga. I'll leave it up to that. Go check out my socials. They're like here in the lower left, and go check my link in the YouTube channel so you can check my other medias and my other platforms, man. But yeah, you are what you think.